Good afternoon. So I have now returned to the engine test stand and I have just had enough of trying to make this work with a very tight space between the engine and the radiator. So this is where I've got to now, and it involved a grinder, some hearing aids and some safety glasses. So I've now ground it off, and thankfully I've got enough room between here and here so I can put it right at the very front, so I've got more room to play around with the radiator hose and everything else that goes on the front of this engine. I just put it too close, and this is where we're at. So it's off now. I've cut it off and I will make it work. I'll grind it all up, make it all look neat, and then I will weld it back together again. So there you go. Yeah, so I had enough trying to figure it out. Everything was too tight, wires were touching, hoses were in the way. Putting the engine actually on the stand with the engine stand was just too difficult. So live and learn. Keep a fair distance from the radiator to the engine. Alright, so I'll clean up and weld it back together again. So I'm back 4 hours later, and it's just started raining, which is handy when you're filming. But anyway, I have now done a bit of a cut and shut on this engine stand, and if you don't tell anybody, I won't either. So see if you can spot the difference. So I have now moved this to the front of the frame. I honestly do not know why I didn't put it there in the first place. I just don't know. I must have had a reason, but anyway, I couldn't think of it right now. So what I've done is I've moved that to the front now. That gives me a bucket load more room here to play around with the coolants. So I can now get a hose to go from there to there, which will be a lot easier than having it here. The wiring isn't going to be a problem, it's wire. I can move wire. On this side, yeah, same deal, right? Not much has changed on this side. I can now get a better connection from here to here, to the water pump. So I've got more room to play with it there. Shouldn't be a problem. I did contemplate moving the engine back, but then when I've got the room at the front, I might as well stick with doing it at the front. So after quite a bit of grinding and more welding and cutting, I've used more metal, and this, you might be able to see, has gone slightly on the wonk, but hey, it'll do what I need it to do. I remembered to take the plastic plugs out of the end of there, so I didn't melt them. That was a bit of a bonus. Just remembered that at the last moment. Radiator and the fan are still in the same proximity, so that'll do what it needs to be done there. Yeah, so I feel a lot better now. It was just getting all too hard to try and make it work with the radiator that close to the engine. So that was a lesson learned for me. I honestly don't know why I didn't put it there in the first place, but anyway, it is what it is. It's fixed now, so now I can focus on doing the wiring and trying to find a back plate. Alright, I'll more likely add more onto this as I do work during the week. Bye for now. Good afternoon. In the bottom shed working on the engine test stand again. So you will see in the background hopefully now that I have progressed. So you would have seen already that I've moved this bit. I moved it further away so it gives me more room here, so I'm going to find a hose now to go from here to here. I've been focusing on wiring, so I was hoping it would be just a simple straightforward, but it never is it? So I put a fuse box here, and I have one main feed coming into the ignition switch that then livens up this lot, and then I feed off at various with 10 amp fuses in here. I've got one relay in here which is not in the fuse box, which is a 40 amp relay, and that's for the fan. So the fan has the biggest draw. So I'm running a line direct, I'm running a cable directly there. The red line is, yeah, that's to the live. So the earth switch works. I've done the timing now. I've put the electronic dizzy in that came out of the other car. That's all tightened up now and all good to go. The oil hose is on. Been messing around with the coil. So this is the tacho. This is the one to the dizzy. That's the live to the dizzy. So it's all done. These are the two alternator wires that go to the starter motor. So as you might or might not know, I've been having some problems with this back plate. So the back plate, this is an early one, and this is like 4.1 inches from here to here. And what I need is the one that is 6 inches from here to here. And it comes out at 90 degrees and goes over here. So I found both a back plate and a flywheel on eBay, and they are coming from the UK, would you believe? I tried to fit the flywheel that I've got onto here, and with this way it is now, this bit here hits the flywheel, so it just doesn't work. So I tried to think about different ways of doing it. We're going to machine this, and I was going to do this and do that and do the other, and in the end it's just easier to get the right flywheel and the right back plate. So the postage from the UK is quite painful, but hey, it is what it is, and you got to get soft so it'll work. Apart from that, pretty much all sort of pretty standard right now. So yeah, it all lights up, and I've put little labels on here now. So down is off and up is on, which is unusual. So yeah, and then that automatically turns it off. That's going to the solenoid. Got my temperature and my oil pressure gauge there. Got a tacho, which I've proven to myself that it works. So yeah, going to go and hunt up the hoses now so I can get that right. And I continue to have issues with this fuel pump and the fitting underneath here, which is too small, so I've got to go to a hydraulic shop and try and see if they've got a fitting for that. Alright, I've got nothing else really to report apart from what I've shown you now. Hopefully I'll be able to progress next week. I've got a thermostat housing coming because this one's a bit corroded. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then I start tidying it up, well, I won't put any oil in until I've done the back plate, so I don't get oil spraying out everywhere, and don't want to waste oil, and it's just a waste of time. But also putting the this here, that distance away from the engine, also now makes getting the engine on and off the test stand a lot easier. So the sump doesn't hit here anymore now, it just drops in, which is quite handy, because it was a bit of a pain in the backside trying to get it in, get it in onto the engine stand. Alright, so I'll leave it there. You'll have seen some video of me now doing the modifications and what I started off with and what I've ended up with. So thank you very much indeed for all your comments and any subscriptions that I get and anything. Yeah, very grateful for everything that everybody contributes. It's always good to hear from you, and yeah, thank you very much indeed, and bye for now.